situation got me running like I'm losing my mind. All for you, I feel with every little step I take, I'm crossing your line. All for you, I'm all for you, all for you. Yeah, yeah. I'm all for you, all for you.
The seasons come and go like thoughts of you. Like a wave returns to the sea, into the blue. They change but in a cycle that I can't lose. Each painful but delightful to live through. You came into my life just like another season. Not for long, just a time, just like another season. Maybe this time next year you'll reappear for no reason, but I'll cherish every day until you come my way this season. The seasons turn and change just like your mind. Like the sun gives into the moon, into the night. Time continues marching, it slowly crawls. With each new one starting, I recall. You came into my life just like another season. Not for long, just a time, just like another season. Maybe this time next year you'll reappear for no reason, but I'll cherish every day until you come my way this season. Each time of year carries memories, like a never fading whisper in the breeze. Oh, we will keep on changing all over again. Yeah, we will keep on changing just like another season. Don't want another day without you by my side. Oh, this season. You came into my life just like another
All right, I think we're live. Round 2 of HPR Tier 2 in Australia. Loading up short qualifying as we speak. Mike, are you coming through clear?
Yep, we're here.
All right, we are here. Real quick. Just want to make sure audio is good. So it looks like we got 17 people at the race today. I think the sign-in sheet had 18 or so still not bad. Not too late, 3 minutes over. Significant improvement from last week. But I think we're looking at a pretty exciting race here. If Tuesday, is any indication of what we have yet to see today, we should see some good action. Australia, super fun, super high-speed street circuit. Can't really go wrong, besides maybe a safety car or two, which we did see on Tuesday. And would not be surprised if we see another one or two here today. All right, so while we load up, and let me see here. I want to make sure we get our info up. I know some people don't like the telemetry data up. I'm keeping it up for the qualifying just so I can actually see the battery ERS deployment. Helps me kind of figure out who's on their hot lap. But I will take that down once the race starts. All right, so as we see our first few guys heading out of the pits for their out laps, real quick, I'll cover our standings from last week. So we had Born Ready coming through in first on that crazy long stint on the hards. I believe it was 47 laps, if I'm not mistaken, so really crazy stuff. So he's leading at 25. We got Clapjack at 18. If I'm not mistaken, I also saw him posting in the chat. He's looking for his maiden win today. He's feeling pretty confident here in Australia. So definitely someone to keep an eye on. Yeah, absolutely. Someone to keep an eye on.
And we are already starting to see some cars go out to the track. Bootsy and Elon Rogan were the first to take the track, followed shortly by tracking the name. We got Late Bloomer is out on the track, as well as Six Char is all on their out lap, looking to get going here quickly. I'm just eager to see how aggressive people take it, because it feels like with a shorter race, they're going to be really interested to get those that front half positioning on pole, because especially they want to get out in front of the turn one chaos.
This is true. Of course, qualifying is always important, but in the shorter races, now that we're down to 50%ers, it's even more important. Less likelihood of big incidents in safety cars, and certainly less opportunity for overtakes. So we'll see how it goes. But just real quick to wrap up the standings, Straggly Rex is going to be holding it in third at 15 points. Then beyond that, we have AJK, Jazzbo, Trackside, LK, AK3000, Late Bloomer, and then Matthew, who was our last points finisher in the Mercedes. Moving over to team standings, still very early in the season here, of course, but we do have the Alfa Romeos are up at the 25-point mark in first. Behind them, we have Alpine, Red Bull, then the Ferrari, AlphaTauri, Aston Martin, Mercedes, Williams, and then the Haas and McLaren teams yet to get any points on the board. I'm sure they're looking to make a change here today. So I believe it was Elon Rogan taking the first hot lap of the day, if I'm not mistaken.
That would be correct. Bootsy was technically out in front, but he seemed to be a little bit slippery. I don't know if his tires were quite up to temp yet, so he's going to probably take this out lap and just go get on the next run and save his battery. But Elon Rogan is definitely on his hot lap and seems to be doing so far so good, passing turn 11.
Keeping it pretty tidy. Now I don't know if it was Bootsy, but the Kick, the Sauber behind him, they may have had a track limits violation. I'm not sure if that track...
Correct. Yep, that was Bootsy. He definitely had a track violation. He was really squirrely on about turn 6 and 7. That sector of the track was not good for him.
So Rogan goes a 119 to start off the day. Let me get up these track times. Why is this? There we go. So Elon Rogan with the 119.4 to start the day off.
And Late Bloomer with his much better track time of 117.
117.7, and then here we go with Clapjack coming in at the 117.2. So we're deep into the 117s.
I would be shocked if we get a sub 116 by the end of this session.
Skilly, if I'm not mistaken, Skilly may have been the Racing Bull that wasn't here last week. I could be.
Yes,
I
that
could
would
wrong.
be correct. Don Duch was the lone V carb from last week, so he's now going to have the joys of having a teammate to potentially score some points with him. Because Don Duch had a very admirable solo performance last week, and hoping to capitalize on this week too.
So Skilly's wrapping up there first hot lap.
Goodness, sector turn 3 has a absolute bunch up. Oh, there's a Kick Sauber stationary.
He might just be getting out of the way. So Skilly puts in a 121. So we had trackside come through the 117.6.
Born
LK
already
starting up
taking
his
his
hot
time.
lap.
That would explain it.
Dude, looks like he's on his hot. I believe Jazbo's finishing up his hot lap here.
That would be correct. Jazbo's rear end is getting a little out from under him.
Those last two turns,
I
they can
don't
get
know
scary.
if that's going to be a time he's going to like.
117.8, not terrible.
Not
Puts him up at
bad.
P5. Here comes Don Duch with his first hot lap. Looks like this one will be recorded, and he puts in a 118.0.
Interesting move by Sammy Kush, Matthew, and Elque Tekohe, all still staying in the pit. None of them have left yet. Even while we have Clapjack with another fantastic qualifying time, 2 weeks in a row, starting off the top. He's sure to get at least one more in just as a banker, but he's got to be feeling good right now. Almost a full half second ahead of the rest of the field.
So we got 6 cars starting up their hot lap, it appears, and I'm sure that 157 must have been either a warm-up or may have gone over track limit, although I don't think it would have recorded if that was the case. So either way, he is flying around these corners. And it looks like he had a little spin there. I'm not sure if he's going to entirely bail on this lap. It looks like he's keeping on the battery. He might go ahead and finish this up just to get a banker in for the time being.
I think that's exactly what he's doing. I am just eager to see how it seems like a lot of people are really struggling with holding with their rear grip. I wonder, it makes you wonder if people are really being aggressive with the low downforce settings. I just have a feeling that might come to bite them down the road, especially because we're going to be seeing a lot of medium usage, and people are going to be really pressed to make those mediums last into softs for a one-pit strategy, and I just have a feeling that's going to lead to a lot of trouble in the middle of this race.
Trackside comes across. He drops 3
Oh,
tenths.
and Six Star's going to the pit. He is not going to get a banker in. He's just going to call it and go back for a fresh set of softs.
So right now, the track is pretty quiet. We do have Jazbo on a flyer. And I believe...
Elque Tekohe's on his outlap.
Okay, so the 2 Red Bulls
And
are out.
Dirty
Jazbo's
Asian.
flying.
Dirty Asian just got a lap that he probably will not be liking.
So 117.2, still the benchmark from Clapjack. Now we do have trackside real close behind, only a tenth behind. And then we have actually a tie, it appears. Late Bloomer and AK3000 currently tied at the 117.715. Late Bloomer getting the edge there, assuming he did get that lap done first. But I'm sure both of these drivers will be looking to drop down even more time in the next hot lap. So Jazbo appears he is going in. So that must have been just either he bailed on that or that was an in lap. We do have trackside. Looks like he is coming around for another. No, he's not. See, the ERS isn't always the best way to strategize for viewing because some people leave it on their in laps. So either way, Born Ready looks like he's starting his hot lap. We got 2 McLarens coming up. Looks like
Yeah,
Peak
look at
Hour
Peak
is
Hour
finishing
is
his
gonna
lap.
but it is not going to be a good time. Yeah, it's he's significantly behind the pack.
Oh,
Not bad. Oh, is that 6-char out in the gravel?
that was Peak Hour coming off of his hot lap. He might have been getting out of the way. I can't tell. Take a look at some of these guys at the end here. Skilly looks like they're starting a hot lap, I believe. And right behind him is an Aston Martin. I don't know who that is. He's just coming around. Red Bull's getting out of the way there. Here we go. I think we have someone on a flyer. Looks like it's Born Ready.
What
And the
happened?
kick.
One of the V carbs is out in the gravel right now. Oh, Skilly must have had a lockup. Oh, and he has heavy front wing damage. He's going to be coming in.
So here
Yeah,
comes
he's missing
Born
half a
Ready.
front wing. Oh no, he's going to be out of the session.
Oh no.
Oh no. Oh, that is just so unfortunate. He's out on turn 5.
Oh, I just saw him disappear there. So I take it the front wing damage, he probably just underestimated the loss of downforce.
He big time. Well, it's hard to underestimate. It's hard to overestimate. He lost half a front rear wing. It's going to be hard to finish a lap. But even then, that is just awful. Really misses out on a crucial chance to move up here.
So Elon Rogan is on an improvement, but he does have a lot of battery left. I don't know if he's going to be going around for another lap. He drops 4/10. Gets a 1:18.528, but I believe he's going for another flyer here.
I wouldn't be surprised. I'm also taking a look at 6-char, trying to see if he can get his first quality lap out on the board here. Seems to be doing all right. Obviously doing much better than his last recorded lap. Going into turn 8.
Bootsy coming over the line. He drops a full second, so he's in the 18s now. Trying to get an eye on some of these guys coming around.
Keeping an eye on 6-char coming into turn 11. Looking good so far. Got very solid speed. ERS is a little tight, but I think he should be able to make this last for the last few turns here.
Late Bloomer drops another 3/10. That puts him on the second row.
6-char is I think he's going to like this lap. Definitely a whole lot better than his previous. And I'll get him to P11.
119.2, and then here comes Elon Rogan. I believe he's going around again. So he did 2 hot laps in a row here. And he drops another 4 100ths. So pretty similar to the last lap. And he holds P9.
Nicely done.
And I was trying to get to see, let's see. Bootsy coming around on the last corner here. Ooh, a little bit squirrely there in the last turn. Almost lost the rear, but he holds it together.
Well, it looks like Trackside's
And
going
he
for
does not
one more
improve.
lap here. I'm beginning to wonder if this might be his last hot. This is not his last hot lap. He'll continue moving along here.
Uh-oh, we have another car spun off, and he's
no, Mercedes.
trying to stay out of the way there. Looks like he took a little bit of front damage.
Looked like he definitely took front wing damage,
Yeah.
100%. He's gonna go straight into the pits. Yeah, I'm really starting to question how aggressive these drivers are out here with their downforce setups. I understand that this is a really high speed track, and you can definitely lose grip and definitely pace if you're not aggressive enough on your straights. But my goodness, we are seeing a lot of racers struggle out here.
Oh, the
honestly,
trackside just goes off. It looks like he just clipped a little bit of the grass there on that last couple corners. And he's going to go ahead and slide it back into the pits.
Man, this is making me wonder if people's put out some time trial setups out here, man. They are struggling. Everyone is.
Keep in mind the last 4 minutes here, we will see a not significant, but a pretty solid increase in grip. There's just so many corners around Australia that it's tough to keep the proper amount of traction, but you can gain so much time by getting on the throttle early. It's all about finding that balance. So almost everybody in the pits currently. Matthew's coming out. He has not posted a time yet, so he decided to go ahead and wait till the end here. Save a set of soft tires. And he'll have time for at least 1, maybe 2 hot laps, depending on how much fuel he loaded up in that Mercedes.
I got on Born ready. He's just coming into turn 13, and he is ready for his hot lap now. This is going to be his chance to really try to make a move to that first row.
I mean, it's close here. These first 2 rows, we're talking 2 tenths. So, I mean, these last few laps, we have no idea who's going to pull this off. Captain Clapjack has had that 117.2 for quite some time now. And he's had that provisional pull for some time, but I have a feeling that's not going to end up fast enough. I think we're going to see some 117 flats, maybe even breaking into the 116s here. So Born Ready is flying. This Aston Martin looks like they might be in the way here. They're going to want to get out of the way.
They're very much in the way. I have a very strong feeling.
That was pretty egregious blocking, to be honest.
That has got to be investigated because Born Ready just set a purple first sector, and that he's going to have to avoid.
He's not going to be happy with that at all.
He cannot be happy about that one little bit.
Again, that's for the stewards to handle, but we did see it there. Saw that on camera. I'd imagine he is going to be going around. Hopefully he has enough fuel in his car for another hot lap.
You can tell he's coasting, and now it's just a matter of keeping his tires warm and hoping he has enough fuel for one more good quality hot lap. But obviously you can see he's given himself a good amount of room here. And now it's just
Sector 1.
I'm not surprised. Everyone's desperate to give themselves a backup if their first hot lap doesn't go fully according to plan. It's going to be tight, and I think most of the people going out now are not going to have that extra chance. And it looks like who's still left in the pits? We got Bootsy's in the pits.
Anyone in the pits at this point is not going to have enough time to get around.
No.
So anyone in the pit is most likely going to be finishing their session with those times posted. So here we go, Born Ready on a flyer for sure.
Yeah, he's looking crisp. He's out to prove a point. He was incredibly unhappy with how that last lap
going to be starting
out.
his soon as well. We'll keep an eye on these top 4 guys here. Although Late Bloomer appears to be satisfied with his 117.3 as he sits in the pits, but I'm sure there could be a shakeup here in the top 4. First of which will be Born Ready here. It's looking good down the straights. Very tidy lap this far. Red Bull gets out of the way. He's coming around.
This is
he's going to be dropping quite a bit of time here. If I'm not mistaken.
He's going to be dropping a lot of time. He's going to be happy with this.
116.7. There you go.
That is exactly the lap that he was looking for.
And here we got Clapjack. Oh! Clapjack bins it into the wall.
No.
I'm not quite sure what happened there. It looks like he just clipped a little bit of grass and went straight off.
Look at AK here. AK3000 is looking like he's probably gonna stick with the time that he's got. Oh, he's going into the pits. That's why.
Improve.
He's gonna call it good. It's P6. Jazzbo though, he's looking to see if he can make some moves here.
Peak Hour's also wrapping it up. Matthew coming across. This will be his first and only lap. That's going to put him down. Oh, looks like that might have been...
Was that nullified?
I think it was. That's the risk you take when you go out so late. All it takes is one little mistake, and you're going to be in the back of the grid. Anyone else on a
And
flyer
that's just
still?
unfortunate. Jazzbo's finishing up his hot lap, and he's going to like this. I don't know if he's going to beat his previous time, but it's going to be close.
He drops a little
Nice.
bit. So that
Look,
it puts
drop
him
a
in
little bit of
P7.
time, but not enough time to improve his position. He's going to stay in 7th place. And then we have this lovely little cluster of folks here. Oh, and Sammy Cush, his last chance at a hot lap is going to get ruined by
I
this
don't think
cluster.
they were on one. I think they'd ran out of time there. I don't think they're on a hot lap. So I think that wraps it up. I don't know if there's anyone else. Yeah, Sammy Cush goes in the pits. I think that's a wrap. So there you have it. We do have a couple contenders in the 116 bracket here. We got Born Ready taking P1 with a beautiful last lap there. Trackside puts up the 116.9. I'm not sure if I caught a bunch of that on camera. Clapjack certainly pushing for the 116, but I think it was maybe turn 5 or 6 that he hit a wall. But regardless, still lining up on the second row, so not the worst of situations. Then we have another 5 117s behind him through P8. So pretty close qualifying, all in all. A lot more instance than I would have expected. Couple guys in the wall there, but there's not a lot of runoff in a lot of this track in Australia. So all it takes is just little mistakes here and there, some of which are going to hurt you a lot more than others. But anyhow, I do think we have a quick replay. I believe this must have been Clapjack, I believe, going on his hot lap. Where he went off here, I can't quite see what happened, to be honest. The angle is very weird and the fence is kind of in the way there, but it looks like he just must have clipped a curb or even just a little bit of grass. But like I said, still starting P3, second row. He has a lot of time to make up for any of that. Yeah, it looks like it was just a little bit of grass under the tires there. I'm hoping we actually get to see the start here. Last week it loaded in with basically all 5 lights on, so fingers crossed we can get this start and maybe even check back with a replay here. I'm not sure if they put on formation lap. I know we did on Tuesday. That would give us a little bit more time to settle in here and load into the lobby. So there will be a 3-minute break between when these cars line up on the grid, and I believe that might be why we're seeing the waiting for players screen here. I think they're just lined up on the grid adjusting tires and strategy. I'm just hoping that once they kick this thing off, we can load in before the start. Alright, so 29 laps, I believe. We're probably going to see most of these guys starting on medium tires. I think that was the most common strategy we saw on Tuesday. Mostly medium to hard, assuming a one-stop. However, there were 2 safety cars, so we saw most of the drivers ending up with a 2-pit strategy, running the softs for the last 5 laps. I wouldn't be surprised if we see something similar here. If all goes to plan and we don't see any safeties, though, that one-stop medium to hard is likely what we're going to be seeing. We might see some brave souls out there running the softs to start the race, but Melbourne is notorious for melting these tires, especially the front left, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Front left and rear lefts lose grip on softs within 5-6 laps, so I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see any soft runners to start. There might be some brave souls in the back that want to start on the hards, maybe go for the longer run. But given the probability of a safety car early in this race, running the hards early might be actually more risky than you'd imagine. You want to be able to use those for as long as you can before switching off of them. So last thing you need is a safety car to come through in lap 6, 7, or 8 and have to get off those hards, or rather stay on them and end up losing to fresher tires behind you. So interesting to see what we'll see here. I'm not sure if there's a way, if I can go to race director here. There we go. So everyone but 3 is going to be running on the mediums, so no surprise there. But we do have a couple, looks like 2, 3 hards.
Oh, we got a bad start from one of the V cars.
Man, it did it to me again. I couldn't even see the start. So holy moly.
We got some contact. I saw some parts flying. Oh.
We need to get back to the front here. So the Haas. What is going on here? Is this
a lot of contact? Oh, we are, and there's the safety car that we were looking for.
What in the world's going on? Are you okay? I think it's starting to sort itself
Scooty
out.
Is disqualified, but I don't know if he had a disconnect, but he just stayed parked right at his starting position and never got off the starting blocks.
That was very strange. No, the order of the cars was odd. I didn't see any of the start. It loaded in after the race started, so it did the same thing again this week. I'm not sure what is going on there. But the virtual safety car comes out. Born Ready is holding first place. Captain Clapjack up to second. Late Bloomer, Agog over here in P4. Josbo looks like he's got a penalty. I'm not sure if that was contact or if that was a drive-through off the line there. I couldn't tell.
Yeah, he's got a 10. Jasbo's got a 10-second penalty.
So I'll pull up what I got for the replay, but like I said, it really started very suddenly. I almost saw none of it.
Looks like Jasbo's going to have to go into the pit. He must have had a serious collision. I don't know if he took in any tire damage or he's serving his penalty and then swapping out tires from mediums to hards. And there's the front wing change.
Well, still better to get it done under a virtual safety car. Save a little bit of time there. But I'd imagine this virtual is going to be ending here soon.
Well, this is interesting for Jasbo, though, because he's swapping to hards. There's a chance he might try to make these hards last the duration of the race and use this virtual safety car as a reason to not pit for the remainder of the race.
So we have a caution. Okay. So the race is back on. Now we have a caution in all 3 sectors, apparently. I was assuming that was the safety car, the virtual, but we have some overtakes happening here. I imagine the race is back and running, man. This has been a little glitchy, to be honest with you. Late Bloomer coming up on the back of Clapjack here. He's holding it within DRS, although Born Ready gets a great start here. He's up by 1.8. DRS likely not open just yet. I'd imagine one more lap. Born Ready goes to the 119. Ooh, we do have someone go off track there. I think that was 6 char, potentially. Big pack of cars coming through here. DRS is active, it appears. Don Duch makes a move out on the inside there, gets it done.
We got contact between Late Bloomer and Captain Clapjack. Clapjack spins out slightly and Late Bloomer takes advantage. Makes you wonder if there's going to be a penalty served for that collision. But Late Bloomer, for the time being, is the major beneficiary of that contact, while Born Ready just nicely cruises into a 3.5-second gap.
The biggest disadvantage we're going to see from Born Ready is being this far out front. He's not going to get the benefit of any sort of DRS, which down the straights, it looks like we do have another accident.
We have another incident. Elkwe Tekohe and Peak Hour are both out. 6 chars out. Bootsy's out. What is going on here?
I did not catch that, but it looks like there was a multiple car incident there. So
Yeah, it
We
was
are
on
down
turn 6.
almost half our drivers already. Severe
Okay,
collision.
Matthew 10 is now served a 10-second penalty.
What in the world? So Matthew just DNFs, and he just had a broken front wing. What in the world just happened? That was at least 4 or 5 cars in
7
one
people.
go.
Yeah, we're down 7 racers out of a 17-person lobby.
What in the world happened? What's crazy is it looks like Matthew, when I last saw him, his car was still running. He was missing a front wing, but absolutely could have pitted there. This is going to give Trackside a great opportunity to catch back up. He's a full lap behind, but under the safety car, he'll be able to pass the safety car and get back in order here. And AK, it's AK out. We have another Mercedes out.
And Sammy Cush has served a 3-second time penalty warning.
Well, it looks like the other Mercedes is
Well,
also
this is
DNF'd,
just-
and I'm not sure if that happened during the incident and I missed that, but there's so much going on here. What in the world is going on?
Sammy-
We got another accident.
Sammy Cush just DNF'd, and Agag got served a 10-second penalty.
What
for-
in the world? This is some red flag territory here. This is crazy. We just lost 8 drivers.
We're down half the lobby. Half the lobby is gone. They're sent home. See you next
This
week.
is absolutely madness
and then
out here.
Trackside is another 10-second. The penalties
What
apply.
is
Trackside
going
served 10
on,
seconds
man?
for-
I'd be
and Don
curious.
Duke just retired from the session.
What is going on here, man?
This has got to be some technical issues.
Yeah,
with the
we're down to
race.
6 guys. Maybe it's a server issue. I'd imagine if it's lagging.
Yeah. it's
Wait, do we
gotta
have
be
another
server issues.
retirement?
Jazzbo's
Jazzbo's
retired.
out.
The host has been migrated. This has got to be a connectivity issue. It just
Oh
has to
no!
be.
So okay, if it's a migration issue, and we're down to 6, I wonder if the stewards would be interested in doing a hard red flag restart for half race distance, or maybe even a 35%, because this is I've never seen anything like this. Not in clean weather, not in dry weather, I should say. I think what's most mind-blowing about this isn't necessarily the incidents. It's the fact they all happened under safety car. I'm not sure if people were piling up or if they're just...
Oh, there's another one. Late Bloomer has left the session.
We might need to restart this here. I'm going to see what they're saying in the chat. This has been chaos. We are indeed... Or no, are we? Okay, we are indeed restarting. I missed the message that was a few minutes ago, so I'm going to go ahead and leave this session. So good news. We might be able to actually see the start of the race. And hopefully we'll see it happen cleaner. My guess is going to be they're either going to restart the 50%er because they're only, what, 5-6 laps in? Or they might downgrade to the 35%. But I'm unsure. I'll make sure to invite you once I'm in, but let me request that invite.
Should I just quit to main menu for the time being?
Yes, I believe so. I think that's why we had the host migration. They're starting up a new lobby.
All right, word. Invite me when you're ready.
That makes sense. I would have been very surprised if that was not some sort of technical issue to see that many guys go down. So, I'm joining now. I'll get you invited here. And we get to see the race start all over again, which I'm actually pretty excited for. Hopefully won't miss it this time. So this we are going to go ahead and restart on the 29 lapper. But that makes sense. We didn't make it too far into that race. What chaos though. That was craziness. So apparently there's a bug in the back of the field giving everyone illegal overtakes. So I'm assuming that's why people were braking so hard and causing incidents there.
Are we restarting the entire session?
I believe they're going to want... Yeah, I think they can actually... I don't think we're going to be doing quali again. We might need to manually adjust the grid order. So the host here, so LK, might need that order, and I'll send it to him right now. Go back in the stream here, find it for him. So yeah, we will be going straight back into the race. I highly doubt we do another qualifying session after that. I just want to make sure we get all our ducks in a row here. I have no way to see who qualified 15 through 17. Just can't scroll, of course. But hopefully that helps. What a disaster. I'm not even quite sure what caused the safety car initially, unless that was also, if that was from the virtual safety car, if it bugged immediately after that. I guess we'll consult with the drivers after the race and find out what happened there. So I'd imagine they're going to go ahead and do the custom order here. Not sure. I don't think I can help with that. It's going to be up to the lobby host here. So we're back up to 17. So everyone's in the lobby. I'd imagine just ironing out the remainder of the grid. So like I said, I don't have the screenshot from 15th to 17th. I believe Matthew was in the caboose, just because of that disqualification on the final lap there. Now for 15, 16, I'm not sure. You might have to double back on the stream to see that too. So it looks like Skilly was P15 and Dirty Asian was 16th. Matthew at 17th would be the end of the order. pretty funny reading through these comments in the Discord. Doesn't sound like anyone really knew what was going on there, including us. Here we go. 30-second timer has begun. We are kicking it off for the second time tonight. I believe they'll probably take a couple minutes just to let everyone readjust their setups, which for those watching and those driving, friendly reminder to get your setups in. It won't be saved from your last qualifying session before. And of course, making sure your strategy looks good. It'll be interesting. I'd imagine we're probably going to see a lot of similar strategies coming out here, but it does give some people an opportunity to switch around from their initial plan. Given the chaos at the beginning, it might not be a terrible idea to put on some softs early, knowing there's a very high chance of a safety car at the rate we're going. Also, maybe dump a little bit of fuel from your car. Yep, so 3 minutes for strategy and setups. And then we are going to kick this thing back off. I'm just hoping I get a view of the start. I don't know if it was the same for you, but again, same as last week. My lobby didn't really render until they were already a couple hundred meters down the track. So hopefully we can see the start this time around. Order looks good. So what's the under-over for the safety car on lap 1, Mike?
I think it's pretty high. I'm putting it
Or what are the
750 that there is going to be one. And hopefully there's not another technical malfunction here. That's my hope. I just want to see some good, clean, exciting racing.
It doesn't even have to be clean. We just don't want to see the technical difficulties take away from the game, and especially drivers who got a good start there. You had Born Ready out 3.5, 4 seconds. I'm sure you'd love to have that back here.
You just really do not want to see EA be the weakest link here. That is the last thing anyone wants to see.
Yeah, unfortunately, happens more often than we'd like to admit. But having full lobbies, and you've got guys from not only the U.S., but you've got guys from all over the place in this lobby here. It's like we got some guys from Canada, UK. So the servers are a little bit strained, and this is really nothing new. It's been the same with F1 lobbies for quite some time, but fingers crossed we'll get a clean start this time around. No major technical drama. I'm at the ready here to try to get this start. Really try not to miss it again. So yeah, it looks like everyone's sticking to the same tire strategy. There's 2 hard runners. I believe those were the same as before. And I don't know the fine print rules, but I imagine they're probably frowned upon to change your strategy. I'm actually not sure. Very infrequently do we actually see race restarts like this. I'd imagine we're starting any time, any moment here.
Yeah, that's what I'm fully expecting. Yeah, it looks like pretty much the entire crowd here is going for mediums. You got Aiken.
Here we go. Here we go. 5 red lights, and we are
And
off.
the lights are out. Oh, the McLarens are off to a swirly start.
Few cars.
Oh,
There's a Haas in the grass.
Haas in the grass, but he regains control.
Looks like no major damage. Certainly some overtaken action here. Matthew, how in the world is Matthew in first? Am I seeing the correct information here?
I think you're seeing it right. What happened to Bourne?
I don't think so. I think
No, I think these times are still sorting themselves out. here.
yeah, it happened last time too. So yeah, looks like Born Ready does retain the lead here. Captain Clapjack in second. Pretty
Yeah,
similar to
that's
the previous start. So actually not too much different. Appears everyone kept it pretty clean.
Ooh, Agag just pushed up to third place in front of Trackside.
Got a load of cars here. Riding pretty close, bumper to bumper back here. Clean thus far, no major incidents that I can see, no damage. We had a few cars run wide, may have been pushed off. Oh, and we have, looks like there was a Racing Bull going off track there. They might have locked up.
Oh, looks like Clapjack is ready to pounce this the moment DRS becomes enabled.
Oh, and another car into the grass there. Looks like a Haas.
Silky 06410 is really struggling out of the gate here.
So here's a quick replay of the start. No major drama. Few guys doing some lawn mowing, but really crowded track. I didn't see anything. I saw no carbon fiber, no damage. Looks like we had another driver go off track live there.
Trackside makes a fantastic move on Agag to sneak into third place.
And he's got the DRS there to even extend that gap even further coming into the high-speed S's here. Looks like Agag and AK are going to have the benefit of DRS on this final straight. Or the Haas does not pick it up. Ooh, and they almost make contact there. Just a little love tap. Clapjack here, keeping it tight with Born Ready. He is all over the diffuser. And he's going to get another run at it here with DRS. Going for the
And
inside
there's the
move.
And he's got it.
Made it cleanly. And Captain Clapjack takes the lead.
I have a very strong feeling we're going to see a lot of back and forth between these two for the rest of this afternoon.
So those two stay ahead by a good second and a half here. They are likely going to try to pull each other out of DRS range even further from Trackside, who's holding third in the Aston. Behind Trackside, though, he's got a couple threats within DRS. He's going to be looking to get out of range there. AK's fallen just under the second mark.
Bootsy with the very early pit. It makes you wonder if he must have sustained some sort of damage. As he's going to the pit and is going to be issued a 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane.
It's brutal stuff. Here we go with Late Bloomer, almost going on the inside there. Looks like the track was eaten up by the two cars ahead of him there. He's going to have another opportunity here.
Makes a fantastic move to overtake Don Duch into 5th place. Almost a double overtake with Late Bloomer trying to make some moves. But Don Duch was able to stop the bleeding and keep his place in 6th. Man, there is a fierce battle for 5th going on.
And we're going to see, I'd imagine, another attempt on an overtake here coming down the main straight.
Oh, what's going on with Bootsy? It looks like he's going to be DNFing. And Bootsy has left the session. He is out of the race.
May have taken some damage there or disconnected. If he disconnected, let me know. Ooh, there's some contact there. Looks like AK bumps into the back of Don Duch. Wing appears to be unscathed, so they'll keep on racing.
Yeah, Wing appears to be in one piece for the moment. Oh, but AK hits the grass. And he gives up 5th place to Don Duch for the time being. And right now, Late Bloomer is always he's trying to weasel his way in. I don't know if there's enough space.
2 cars. One goes to the inside and crashes! And there goes AK.
AK's done for the day.
I don't know if he's done for the day. His car is still moving. He's going to have to go in to repair that wing immediately.
He's going to have to pit immediately.
Oh, and with the low downforce, he's off in the gravel.
Yeah,
so he's falling back.
He's going to be losing places, and he's going to have to seat. He has no other choice.
Fortunately for him, he's pretty close to the pits here. Fortunately, happened on the second half of the track, but he's going to have to dive in immediately.
His best hope is to go for hards and then just hope for a safety car, which at this rate, I would not be surprised. I'm a little surprised though. They gave AK out of that bunch of Don Duch and Late Bloomer. AK was the one served the penalty. That's going to be really interesting to see on replay because all 3 of them were really jostling for position. And it seemed like Late Bloomer was really trying to nose himself in to try and get some space. But apparently, according to the AI steward, it seemed like AK was the one that made it too aggressive. But it seems to be a clean pit. And even though he's coming out the back end here, he should be able to make it this set of hards like these last for the remainder of the race.
And I wouldn't be surprised if we see a safety car come out here. He'll have plenty of opportunity to catch back up. 6 seconds behind Skilly back in 15th, but plenty of time to make up some places here. Hop back up here to the 2 leaders. Back and forth quite a bit, it would appear.
Oh, we see one of the Red Bulls spin out and almost take out Elon Rogan. El Quick to Kohei spun out, going for down throw about 8th to 10th. Almost took out Elon Rogan on his entry, but everyone is so far back and safely racing once more.
No damage to the Red Bull either, so he will continue his race. Don Duch setting up for an outside move here. I don't know if he's going to have the top speed there to get it done. He's going around the outside. Not quite going to get it done. He goes a little wide.
That is a little too... He tried to squeeze a little more juice than that lemon had.
Clapjack still holding behind. DRS range to Born Ready. These two still a good second and a half at a trackside, who looks like picked up a penalty.
Oh, geez. Don Duch, his rear end is starting to fail him. I think he is really trying to push this rear end hard.
Clapjack going for the move on the outside. Not going to get it on the turn here, but it looks like he's going to have a great opportunity for an overtake. Through this DRS zone here, he's going through the inside. Gets through pretty cleanly there, and another change of the leader. So we have Captain Clapjack back in first. Likely see Born Ready go back for another move here on this final straight. Meanwhile, trackside's looking good. He's catching up while these two are battling. He's caught up by a few tenths here. And he's definitely going to be pushing to get into that DRS range, join the fight at the top. Everyone else has started to sort themselves out. Only person in DRS range is Born Ready in second here. Okay, looks like he dropped down a couple places. Might have been another spin. Those tires might be hot from the last incident that we saw. So he's
it looks like he's going to drop
some,
another place. He's dropping down to 13.
He's certainly dealing with some hot tires. He might be running a pretty low downforce setup, but he holds on to 12th there, around the outside. Back up at the top. Trackside does fall within that 1 second DRS range, so now we're going to have a three-way battle for first. Born Ready going on the inside here. Looks like he's going to get it done. This will only get more interesting as it goes, now that we got Trackside joining the party.
And Agag is still within striking distance. There's a very good chance in the next couple laps here, as the top three try to jostle for position, that he can really make some hay here and make a real dent in this lead.
Yep, Josbo with a 3-second time penalty. Good chance we'll see quite a few of those here in Australia. Definitely a lot of opportunity.
It looks like there's an event on turn 9. between a Mercedes and a McLaren.
Uh-oh. Both the cars
Matthew
appear...
and Peak Hour both appear to be driving, but it looks like they were... It's a little unclear exactly what happened. Must have been a mutual spin out. Maybe initiated by some contact. Well,
No
Born
damage
ready
visible.
with a very clean overtake at the end of that DRS range. Very nicely done, and this is definitely not the last we're going to be seeing in this battle.
So position change-wise, Matthews moved up 4 places, but he started all the way in the back. We got AK falling down 10 places to 16th. I'm sure he'll be looking to fight back into the mid-pack. Born Ready still holding that pole position in first. Clapjack's up 1 from his starting position in third. Trackside down 1. Pretty close race. No major movement here, minus AK. I know he had his incident earlier, and then we have Matthew moving up a few places as well.
Oh, and Trackside spins out. That is unfortunate. He is not just serving a 3-second penalty, he's going to drop for sure 5th, as he's got to let his tires cool off before he can really start pushing again. That is highly unfortunate. Not the only casualty we've seen from these really low downforce setups, but this is the dice you roll if you want the top. And man, these tires are just not agreeing with Trackside right now as he's trying to wrestle these tires under control.
It's an uphill battle after you have 1 instant. So those tires are going to be hot for a few laps. You got to keep it easy, brake a little early, and be easy on the throttle. Get those tires back into operating range. The battle at the top continues. Clapjack, Born Ready, keeping it clean. No major mistakes from our end over here.
Sammy Cush in striking distance of Trackside in P5. He is really, really looking to make some do some damage here after a very unsatisfactory last race, and he is looking very solid here. Even just keeping his current position with penalties placed out will put him up into P5, which would be an excellent finish for the weekend.
Matthew looks like he makes another move on Peak Hour, puts him up to P12. So again, Matthew moving his way up the field from the P17 start. Peak Hour will be fighting back, it looks like.
And Sammy Cush with a clean DRS overtake. Trackside did not put up too much of a fight. He knew that Sammy had the significant advantage. And AK with another 3-second penalty.
Jazzbo looks like he took a spill.
Yeah,
May have
he
been
most certainly
self-induced.
did.
He's going to make sure he gets back on track safely here. No damage, and he's going to stay out of the pits.
Yeah,
Last
that's
couple
a little
turns
surprising.
here.
That could have been a really interesting opportunity to just swap to hards and then just ride it out for the rest of the track if he really doesn't feel comfortable in these tires. Oh,
Peak Hour.
And then with the McLaren, and it looks like he's DNF'd. He's out of the session, and there's going to be a safety car. This is a very
Wow, the
very
timing
good
for
opportunity
AK was
AK.
brilliant.
Immediately going to into the pits. That is some opportune timing if I've ever seen it.
So we're not going to
He's
see any
going to have a
overtakes
great
on the
opportunity
safety
to
here.
swap to mediums and then be able to ride this out for the rest of the race.
Ooh, Skilly gets hit with the 10-second speeding the pit lane violation.
Little excited. Oh, and it turns out AK is swapping his front wing too. This could not have worked out any better for AK 3000.
No kidding. So he's going to be able to get his way back around track and get another shot at a restart here. Still holding on to that 6-second penalty, but he certainly won't be the only one by the end of this race. We got a couple guys at 3 seconds. Skilly's holding that 10-second penalty for speeding. All else remains to be expected. We'll see what tires everyone's going on. I'd imagine we're going to see a lot of hard runners here. Hard's
We
going
already
to
got
Clapjack.
Clapjack's going to softs. Agog is going to softs. Born Ready's going with hards. My apologies. They're all swapping.
Now here's a situation here. So we have Sammy Cush staying out on their old hards. Granted, only 10 laps deep. They certainly can make these. They can extend these tires out probably another 10 laps if they manage them properly. But they're staying out. Started on the hard. They're going to go ahead and take track position into P1, giving Alpine P1 and P2 positions to restart this race. So we'll see.
And now the question is, where do we see some potential opportunity for teamwork? Because ultimately, Clapjack is going to have the opportunity. He's going to have the race pace. He's going to easily overtake Sammy Cush
on the fresh hards as well. Yep.
Exactly. It might not be immediately because the hard tires that Sammy Cush has are still going to have some good wear on them, but I just am curious to know how long he's going to make those last before he's going to start really losing time to the rest of the field.
Track position is important here, though, especially given there could easily be another safety car. If they can hold their place here, even top 3, top 4, and make their first pit stop under another safety car, they're going to be looking at a really good finish here. So great opportunity. I agree with the call to stay out in the hards. You start on the hards, you want to extend those out. You can still hold on to, you know, again, top 3, top 4. And again, this is moving up from, looks like P7. So Sammy Cush up 7 places. LK is also up 6, but I believe he also didn't go in for the stop either. So the 2 guys staying out are going to get the best position change advantage here, but it's all a matter of whether or not they can hold on to these old tires. Safety car makes its way around to the start line once again. We're going to see another lap. LK does dive into the pits a little bit late. Changed his mind. Wants to get off those mediums. Probably the right call. Better late than never. He's still going to be able to catch back up to the pack. He's on the hard tires to finish off this this race, assuming no other safeties. So
yeah, honestly, Elquay I think he definitely made the right call. He only lost about 2, maybe 3 positions, but to go to the fresh hards, I think he's going to thank himself later by the end of this race.
So
the
again,
only question for Elquay is he going to be able to bring the tires up to temp over the course of this lap before the safety car likely goes in here?
definitely going to be watching Sammy and Captain here to start off this this restart. The teammates, leader of which being the only driver on the grid on older tires. So I'd imagine, looks like everyone's caught back up to the field. We'll be starting this bad boy off once again. Yep, here we go.
And there's a notification. Safety cars in this lap. Oh, there's a little bit of bunching up here.
Looks like Sammy's taking it pretty slow. I see what looks to be an overtake there for a second. I don't want anyone to get a penalty there.
Yeah, absolutely not. Not on a safety car. This is an opportunity for everyone to just settle in here. Sammy Cush is really trying to get everyone backed up, and he thinks he gives himself some room in this restart. He knows he's going to need every advantage he can to maintain this lead as best he can. It's still going to be a hard challenge, but he's got to give it all he's got.
And here we go. Looks like we are green light. Sammy gets a solid start, but teammate immediately within DRS. We're going to have to wait another lap till DRS is active, but I wouldn't be surprised if Clapjack goes in for the move early.
Yep, he's going to let him pass.
Ooh, and a little bit of contact there.
Born Ready, Born Ready is still going to be in the race, but it looks like he might have sustained some front wing damage. We'll see if that's going to bite him later down the road. And Sammy Cush is already starting to lose places here. Sammy Cush down to P4. Oh! There's a spin out. Oh, and there's a major incident. That's going to be another safety car. That has got to be another safety car. Multiple cars are out.
Big incident there. Multiple cars involved. We'll throw this up on the replay tracker here. So we do see a little contact early.
Yeah, Captain Clapjack with a 3-second time penalty.
The Sauber just bumped in the back of Alpine, but that wasn't the incident. The incident was this next turn coming up. We had Looks to be 3 or 4 different cars involved. No safety or caution, though.
Surprising. That seemed like a lot of contact, all for no safety car. Now the question is to see who's going to have to go in a pit and see if there's any front wing damage that's going to have to be sorted through.
Late bloomer making the move over Sammy. So Sammy falls down to P5. Keep in mind, though, Sammy can get away with one more stop.
Oh, there's an overtake in the pit lane. Oh, that is... I have never seen that before.
Oh, and another incident looks like Skilly off the track.
Oh, that's not
Went
ideal.
sideways there. It looks like they have some major wing damage as well, so they're going to be diving back in the pits, joining Don Duch and Trackside as well. I believe Don Duch and Trackside were the two involved in the incident earlier.
Yes, they were.
Fortunate to remain in the race. That looked pretty nasty, but just some wing damage as far as I can tell. In the race to the top, we'd have Clapjack. Clapjack does have a penalty. I didn't see when that came through. I'd imagine that's going to be a 3-second penalty.
It was multiple warnings. It was shortly after all the massive contact between Trackside and Don Duch.
Born Ready now down to P3, but he is certainly still on the hunt. He smells the blood in the water here. He's got the DRS coming up. Agog up here, P2 in the Haas. So our 3 leaders here, putting up their fastest laps immediately. They're now into the 119s.
Don Duch is just going off, and Don Duch retires from the session. I think he's rather just save everyone's time and especially his own. If he's going to be struggling this hard here, there's a chance there could be another safety car, but it looks like he's not going to be playing those odds.
Big gap forming between the top 3 fighters here and 4th. 4-second gap. Again, I'd imagine these top 3 guys.
Six Char is right on the rear end of Sammy Cush right now, trying to go for jostle for 5th place. And Sammy Cush holding on for dear life with those worn out hearts. He has got to start feeling it now. Oh, and Six Char goes onto the grass for the overtake, but we'll get it done.
Sammy's going to immediately go for the take back there. Looks like they do not get the advantage of DRS, but they're still trying to go on the outside. Made a little contact there, kept it relatively clean, and they're not going to get the position.
Oh, and then one of the Mercedes, I think that was 8K, looks like he had a little bit of a spin out.
Assuming no more additional penalties, Born Ready and Agog here, if they can just keep in the DRS range of Clapjack, they're going to be the 2 fighting for the win here. Trackside puts up
and
another
Sammy
penalty.
Cush is forced onto the grass and is going to lose multiple places down to P10. Ooh.
It is really crowded up. It is bunched up here. We'll keep the cameras on this crowd as these drivers desperately trying to keep it clean.
Jasbo and Elon Rogan marching their way up to P7 and P6 respectively. And it looks like the best beneficiary of them all is going to be Six Char. He's going to try and push himself just out of DRS range from Elon Rogan and Jasbo. That is some fine driving from the Haas. Oh, Clapjack and Born Ready are both going to be out.
Holy moly, I didn't catch it.
Oh my goodness, they were both
The 2
trying to
top
overtake.
contenders are out, and just like that,
of the race.
we have safety
And-
car number 2.
And now
Wow.
this is going to be an interesting opportunity here for a lot of folks. Oh, and Skilly with another penalty for the. It looks like it's going to be another 10-second. Oh, but Agog's not going to have the opportunity to pit. This is the opportunity for Sammy
Wow.
Cush to potentially make up a lot of time
Wow,
here.
man.
If
I'm just
he
saying.
swaps a fresh set of softs, that's going to be a real prime opportunity for him. Six Char is pitting 2.
The
That's
2
gonna be
top runners now out of the race. The doors have opened.
Yeah, and we're gonna see some blood in the water.
And
We're
a
gonna see
drive-through penalty for Skilly. That is brutal stuff. Looks like they must have been speeding.
That's not his only penalty though. That is. Okay, this is a great opportunity for Sammy Cush. We're going to see if he was going to try and ride it out on those hard. He's going to swap to medium. He is not going to roll the dice and try and make a set of softs last.
I agree with that. I agree with that. Even 12 laps in Australia, those softs, especially seeing how many people have been slipping around here.
That's going to be aggressive for 6-char. He's decided to get a fresh set of softs out. I think it's going to be interesting. You know, it's going to be a really interesting experiment. We're going to see these two cars start at nearly exactly the same spot with their completely different strategies. I'm going to be very interested to see how those two fit, barring, of course, more conflicts than another safety car, seeing how this all plays out.
Man, I can't believe, though, we had our top runners just completely eliminated from the race in a matter of a second. I did not catch it. I was watching the pack behind them. They'd kept it clean throughout the majority of the race, so a little surprised to see that happen. I'm curious to see what the replay looks like the onboards there.
From what I could tell, if I could remember correctly, it looked like Born Ready was on the middle of the track and Clapjack was on the outside. And it looked like Born Ready was turning into Clapjack, but it was really hard to tell. I'm not going to hurl any accusations or let alone allegations without looking back at the tape, but it was awfully close, and it was really just both drivers really pushing for points.
So here you go, Matthew. First to last, or last to first challenge, up to P5, 12 places up from his starting position. He's worked his way up the field quite nicely. He'll be starting right ahead of his teammate AK. We'll see. I'm sure they'll be trying to keep it extra clean between the two. A lot of people benefiting from these DNFs. Between Matthews up 12 places, LK's up 6, Dirty Asian's up 8, Elon's up 8, and air leader right now, Agog, is up 4 places. So we're really looking at a big shuffle from the beginning of the race, from our initial qualifying session.
Yeah, Matthew 10 really making a race out of this from starting at P17. Really goes to show that anything can happen in these kind of races, especially with multiple safety cars.
So restart number 2, I guess you could call it number 3 after the server malfunction off the initial race start. But once again, we'll get to see how these guys handle turn 1. And it's hard to say who's going to have the big advantage here. You've got the fresh tires, you got 6-char and Sammy on their freshes, but they're back in P9, P10. You know they're going to be looking to make some moves here early from off this restart.
And they're going to be able to. The real question that I have, though, is going to be the Mercedes. Both of them are on 7 and 8 lap, respectively, medium tires, and I don't think those mediums are going to be able to last the duration of this race.
They can get it done. It's just going to be. It might go squirrely.
Oh, what? I'm seeing that AK3000 has left the session. I don't know if that's just a technical error on my end, but
AK might need an invite. Not quite sure. Let me see if he posts in chat if he got disconnected. I'll invite him here after this restart, if need be. That might have just been a disconnect, so we'll keep an eye on that, and we'll get him back in as soon as possible.
He's going to the car's being turned into the pit lane.
So here comes a restart. Agog holding the inside line. The Williams on the outside. Late Bloomer going for the move, and the Late Bloomer drifts around the corner there, loses a few places. Keeps it on the track, so nice save there. It could have been a lot worse than it was.
Alright, and AK3000 is going into the pit as the safety car is ending. That is, I don't know if that was the disconnected AI or what kind of move that was. That just...
Most likely the AI is my guess if he's not connected. Yeah, it looks like he does need an invite. Let me see if I can add him real quick. Hate to see the disconnects, especially because we're also... Oh, whoops. Accidentally invited the wrong person. But invite has been sent out. My fear is, hopefully, his AI... We'll see what his AI is up to. AI went to the pits.
To get 5-lap-old hards, which is not the worst idea.
The loss of...
He's at a 15-second discrepancy between the rest of the pack. And 6-char is making moves, already up from P9 P9 to P6 on those softs. He is really out for blood right now.
I can imagine he's going to be going for LK as well.
And Sammy Cush just goes up from P9 to P8 on those fresh mediums. They have really been optimizing their pit strategy. Oh, 6-char spins out. Oh no, all that progress gone. And now he's going to have to be extra careful with those softs because those are going to be way overheated. Oh, that is just nasty. That is just so unfortunate. It was on turn 3, it appears. Just locked up and just the tires could not hold on. And Sammy Cush is going to be the beneficiary. He's going to be up to P7 and very close to striking distance to trackside.
Trackside with a 6-second penalty as well. So they're still looking at a top 6 finish if all else remains the same. 6-char gets back on the horse though, and he is ahead of Dirty Asian. Trying to fire up these soft tires again, get him back in operating range.
Yeah, but he has got his work cut out for him. He's got a 6-second gap with equally fresh tires to Sammy Cush and only 9 laps to make the difference up. It's going to be a challenge, but I think he's up to it.
So Late Bloomer does take the lead, and he's ahead by a good half-second here. Trackside gets the move done over Matthew. Trackside's moving up to Aston's in 3rd and 4th here. Matthew will certainly be fighting that as well. Meanwhile, I imagine we're going to see another DRS run from Agog in the Haas with Late Bloomer, our race leader. Looks like peak hour was also disconnected. What is going on, man? So Agog doesn't have the juice to get it done yet, but he's still within DRS range, and he's going to be coming up close on the Williams here down the straight. AK has retired. I can't tell you for sure if that was him or the AI. I know I tried to get him back in the lobby, but sometimes those AIs are finicky. Yeah, it looks like he got disconnected again, but he's showing DNF, so I'd imagine the AI retired. It happened to me on the first
Elon
race.
Rogan has left the session. He's disconnected too. I would try to invite him ASAP before we get
Elon?
into the incident. Yep, Elon Rogan. It said he's just disconnected.
Oh,
At least the
man,
notification came across my screen, so I
just invited. Yeah, it looks like that certainly an AI driving that car, which is going to give Matthew the opportunity to move ahead. What is going on with the servers right now?
That AI is putting up the defense of a paper-thin napkin. A paper-thin napkin soaked in water. But Elon's loss is Matthew's gain as Matthew moves up to P4. And El Quete Kohei and Sammy Cush are right on his
They're
tail.
attacking this AI like crazy. He's going to be falling down
and
more
Sammy
position.
Cush is going to move up to P6 and try for the double overtake. Oh, he does it! Sammy Cush with a double overtake over Elon Rogan and El Quete Kohei up to P5.
And launches up by another second and a half.
He
damn near.
is
2
really
seconds.
feeling confident in those fresh mediums, and I don't blame him.
There we have a
The
little
results
drift. They keep it together though.
Man, Sammy Cush is out for blood. He is really feeling the wrath of last week and coming back with a vengeance. And now he has a 6-lap advantage on his tires over Matthew in front of him, and only a 1.5 gap to P4. Oh, Sammy Cush is gaining a significant amount of time back here. He is comfortably in DRS range.
It would seem that those mediums are right where he wants them, and you're right.
Yeah,
he's gaining time on almost every turn. The fastest lap, Elon Rogan puts up a 3.85 second lap. That might be a new world record, folks.
Did we get Elon officially back into the race?
I'd imagine so. But yeah, I got that
I
notification.
mean, an
and I
AI is
put
not
it there.
a casual AI is not going to be setting that fastest lap. Let's be honest.
Another just bug. A lot of bugs tonight, unfortunately. Hey, guys, just keeping it clean behind Late Bloomer here. I don't know if he's just waiting for the right opportunity. He's being patient with it. But he's maintaining that DRS range. I'm going to keep an eye on Sammy Cush in the meantime. Again, within DRS of Matthew ahead of him. And blue flags have been ignored, apparently. LK, what blue flags were there? There were no blue flags. Am I mistaken here? No one's being lapped.
That should not be counted.
Right as yeah, they need to remove that if possible. That's weird. Man, we've seen some crazy bugs tonight. I don't think I've seen that one before. But I also hadn't seen the total disaster on the first lobby restart. This is a cursed lobby.
This is very interesting to see. Sammy Cush, who was gaining tenths of a second on every turn, is now dropped out of DRS range from Matthew 10.
Certainly pushing the car. They might have slipped up there, made a small mistake, but even with that being said,
my guess is that he's just saving on DRS.
Still gaining some time here. Now, I'd imagine they're probably, may have gone off track a little bit there, but still gaining plenty of time. Already's made back 4 tenths. And they're going to be back in DRS here shortly. So we'll keep an eye out on that. Agog still keeping it close. Still under the second mark there. Trackside's fighting it down to 3.3 seconds. They are still going to have to contend with that 6-second penalty. Sammy falls back down a little bit more on that last turn. We'll continue to fight.
He's up a little bit on that straightaway.
So the closest battle we have here, again, is Agog in the Haas and Late Bloomer up at P1. And we're going to be going down to our final 4 laps here. Down to 10 racers. 10 racers, though. We had a 1 disqualification and looks like 6 different DNFs. Agog's getting the move done on the outside. So there we go. Finally gets by, does it cleanly, waited for his opportunity, charged up his battery, and he is taken off in first. He's going to get that DRS advantage once again, try to extend his lead out a little bit more. But I have a feeling that's not the last we're going to see of these two going at it.
Sammy's making distance finally and is going to get within DRS range. This is going to be big for him. Can he keep this up going into the final turns here of this lap? No, he is not. Sector 3 has been Sammy Cush's absolute Achilles heel. Just when he gets it within striking distance, he loses just a few tenths, just enough to be out of DRS range for the main overtaking areas right here at the beginning, right here next to the paddock.
Now, I just got another notification that we had a fastest lap at a 120, but we were in the 119s before, so I'm not quite sure if that was truly the fastest lap. Off that safety car restart, we had a couple 119s, I believe. So I'm not sure that's going to be accurate. Granted, we did see a 3.8 second lap earlier, so take it with a grain of salt. Late Bloomer now, just again, keeping in range, gaining tons of time on this straight. The DRS advantage. They're going to keep it battling through. Not going to be able to get it done here. Looking back in the field, we do have some gaps starting to form. Trackside's fallen down to about 4 seconds of a gap. Another 9-second gap down to Matthew. Sammy's now back to 2.2. Those mediums might be starting to finally wear on him. And they do have a 3-second penalty, although as it stands,
it wouldn't matter as it
would not
stands. He
matter.
would still remain in P5 as long as he remains over 3 seconds ahead of Elon Rogan, which I wouldn't be surprised if he does, because those hards have got to be wearing down as well. And with only 2 laps left to go, I completely understand why.
Six Char was the only one on those softs, if I recall.
Yep, that is correct.
And they do have Jazbo, who's going to be looking to make a move here. Does have 6 seconds of penalties. Looking to get it done regardless.
Well, ultimately, at this point, it's just jockeying for points. Just every single driver here, just by finishing, will be earning points for their teams. It's just a matter of how much. And another set of warnings for Elquay Takohe. I think all these penalties are going to put him down to the down to 10th place.
Potentially. So he's with the penalties. He'd have 7 seconds to make up between him and Jazbo, but it looks like Jazbo is going to fall within 6. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. Down to our penultimate lap here. Late Bloomer still in the lead here. Looks like they had made a couple switchbacks here and there, but again, keeping it pretty clean, and they're well ahead of Trackside in P3, who's now fallen down to 4.4 seconds. Also holding a 6-second penalty. So it's really just going to come down to these two guys, and Trackside, keeping it clean, should hold on to a podium here with a 12-second advantage over Matthew. Question is, do you want to go for the move now, or do you want to wait till the last lap to charge that battery? Late Bloomer still going to be well within DRS. Good chance they'll be saving up their batteries as much as possible for this last lap. Late Bloomer also thinking defensively here as well. Likely to be saving quite a bit of battery as well. So they're at 27%. Agog is all the way to 100% here, though. He has saved his battery all the way to 100. He's going to be dumping that for the rest of this lap. Huge advantage over Late Bloomer. Little does Late Bloomer know, Agog is sitting on 100% battery. So here we have it for all the marbles. Neither of these drivers penalized. Late Bloomer's sitting on 17% versus Agog's 94. Can he get it done down the straight here? He's going to go ahead and dump that battery. Still should have plenty left even beyond this last couple corners here.
Looks like he's going to get it.
He's going to get it done. He still has 15 or so percent on the battery, which should be plenty enough to extend that lead. Matthew with some sort of incident.
Yeah, he tried to cut the corner too hard. It looks like he took some damage. That's just so unfortunate. He is having such a great race and just got a little bit too greedy.
Can Late Bloomer make a last-minute move with that 20% battery? He has a little bit of DRS range here, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Are we going to see a photo finish here? Not quite. Agog gets it done, though. The battery strategy paid off well for him.
Oh, and we have a really interesting battle for 5th place developing. Elquay Takohe is all the way caught up to Sammy Cush. Now, with penalties, I think Elquay Takohe has more than Sammy, so it probably doesn't matter for final placement.
It will not.
But it is just amazing to see this level of aggression this late in the race.
So Sammy's going to come across here, even with the penalties. They'll take a top 5 finish. Elon Rogan, trackside, the two Astons finishing 3rd, 4th. Takohe holds on to 6th currently, but falls down to 7th with the penalties. 6char also taking over with the penalties included. And last but not least, we do have Dirty Asian following up, finishing P9. Nobody behind him. Points on the board. So looking back at that, Agog, that whole time, because he was sitting in 2nd for a long time throughout that race, and without realizing it earlier, he must have been just saving that battery for the last lap, and it worked out very well for him.
It to absolute perfection.
Very well done, guys. I did not expect this podium. Seeing our top 2 runners fall off earlier in the race, unexpectedly. And we've got ourselves a podium of a Haas and Aston Martin. And I'm trying to remember the constructor, Williams, of late bloomer. So, with that being said,
also valuable. Alpine's got to be in it though, because Sammy Cush, by getting P5, is still keeping Alpine very much in constructors after Kick Sauber taking a huge hit to their standings with a dual DNF. But Alpine should be still staying in decent points here.
So Agag, with that win, is putting up the first points for the Haas team, and Six Jar is going to add to that as well. So Haas comes out of the grave here, coming from no points in weekend 1 to putting up a great performance here in week 2. Looking at it, Born Ready, Captain Clapjack, the 2 leaders into the standings from last week, both out of the race, so they're going to be falling down. It looks like Born Ready will be tied for first as of next week. We'll definitely hash out the final point standings here, but definitely a shuffle in the order. We're going to see some teams here moving up quite a bit. Fun race to watch, minus the very unfortunate disconnects. There's some really unfortunate technical difficulties. Not really anything the drivers could do to prevent, but unfortunately with F1 and the EA servers, that's more common than we'd like to admit.
That's just the hand we're dealt.
Yep. Looking at the team standings here. Again, we'll hash out these points later tonight or tomorrow morning, I'm sure. But good racing from all. It's been a pleasure as always. We will be back next week, Thursday, again at 9 p.m. Eastern. I'm not entirely sure where we'll be racing. Let me double check for you guys real quick. I know we have, I believe it's 18 total weeks throughout the season. Next week is going to be Suzuka, one of the all-time greats.
One of my personal favorites.
Absolutely. Great track to drive, great track to watch some performances come out. And that'll be fun to cast. So unless you have any closing remarks, Mike, we can call it a night, and
I think that sounds fantastic. Yeah, can't wait.
All right, thanks again, guys.